Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing here on this Tuesday morning? This is Reganelite here. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning with Reganelite here on Tuesday, the 9th of December at 11 a.m. UK time. We are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite and on twitch.tv/Reganelite1. For those who are new to this live stream, what we normally do is we go for about roughly an hour. We look at today's daily quota. We have a look at what's happening in terms of the weather today and the next couple of days. And then we'll have a look at see what the media is talking about. Today, we're going to be looking specifically at UK media. We're going to start looking from the Telegraph, the Times, the Financial Times, the iPaper, the Independent, the BBC, Sky News, and the Guardian. If we get to the end of that, of course. And we go roughly to about an hour. A quick reminder as well that I will be going live again today at 6 o'clock for global news, covering news from outside the UK. So if anyone wants to join me for that show, you can join me there at 6 o'clock later on today. Let's see who we got lurking in the chats here. At the moment, we don't have anyone on the Twitch chat. It's all nice and quiet there. Good morning, Linda. Hope you are doing well. Good to see you there. Scott Hayes, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. For some reason, I can scroll up here, but I couldn't scroll. Ellie can't make the chat, but came in and hit the like button. Thank you, Ellie. Appreciate that. Billy Kershaw, good morning to you. Scott Hayes, good morning to you. And Dave McGinnis, good morning to you. Hope you are all doing well, and anybody else who are lurking in the background. So here we'll start with today's daily quota. Here is today's daily quota here, just to show what it is there. It is by Napoleon Hill. Remember, you can get one of your own on the website at pennylittlethoughts.com if you ever want one for yourself here. And today's daily quota is: cherish your visions and your dreams, as they are the children of your soul, the blueprints of your ultimate achievements. Cherish your visions and your dreams, as they are the children of your soul, the blueprints of your ultimate achievements. That is today's daily quota there. Very nice one. Very nice one there. There are ones that are really, really nice, and then there are ones I'm like, huh? You do get some of those ones. Tomorrow's one's a nice one, actually. It's not a bad one as well. Which I could share. Hey, why can't I put it on? I don't know. Oh, I've got something blocking there. Doc Davis, good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Townsend as well. Good morning to you as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Right, let's have a look at today's weather, guys. Here, let's see what the weather is saying. We did kind of warn about it yesterday, but we kind of knew it was coming. You guys call it Storm Pam. I think it's called Storm Pam. I'm calling it Storm Dolly because Dolly can be a right nuisance here in the house. So I'm just naming it Storm Dolly after our cat because she can be a right nuisance. That's it. I'm calling it Storm Dolly. Here's our big beautiful planet. For those who don't know, I'm using the bbc.co.uk weather map. If you guys want to have a fiddle about with it yourself, the link for it is in the description there as well. Melody, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Zoom in a little bit. I'll see some of the temperatures here. Once again, guys, I always like to look at Yellowknife in Canada, and I just look at those temperatures, and I just think, again, negative 24 degrees. Yeah, that's cold. Vancouver 9, San Francisco 9, Ottawa -11, New York -1, Miami 23, Mexico City 18 there. Lima 21, most of South America is pretty warm still, 30, 29, 27 in some parts. Stanley 12 there. Parts of Africa, Cape Town 21, Lagos 28 there, respectfully. On the other side of the planet, Auckland's 18, Sydney 21, Perth 19, Darwin 26. Philippines, a very warm 26 degrees there. Colombo, that's at the edge of India, 24 there. Tokyo, actually 4. Beijing, -2 there. New Delhi, 12. Tehran, 12 there. And we got our good friends over in Iceland at 5 degrees. They're not too bad in other parts of the world, guys. They're not as bad as other parts of the world there. But as we are moving a bit closer, we can see there's a couple of snowstorms here and there around. Look, there's this big snowstorm right here as well. Interesting. And we can see obviously lots of snowstorms falling down over parts of Russia and the north and over the Nordic nations, as we would expect here. But let's just touch on Europe before we go to the UK. Madrid 10, Lisbon 15, couple of showers there. Tunis 15, Palermo 12, Rome 10, Nice 12, Bern 6, Zagreb 5, Tarija 10, Athens 13, Istanbul 9, Bucharest 5, Chistu 2, Kiev is 3, Warsaw is 9, Prague 9, Berlin 11. There's a big snowstorm coming over from Russia into Ukraine while the conflict is taking place there. Moscow 0, Riga 6, St. Petersburg 4, Oslo is 1 there. Berlin 11 there, Prague 9, Brussels 13, and Paris 13 there. In terms of temperatures here, we can see if we scroll it a little bit further back here, this is what we are experiencing roughly right now, this storm. As of right now, some of you may be experiencing that. I'm definitely experiencing it where I am. A lot of those high winds. I was very concerned about my partner when she left for work in the very early in the morning, but she got to work all right, and it was fine. But you know, when those high winds are flying about, like you never know, guys. You never know. So the winds should calm down later on by the time she comes out. Cross fingers anyway. But you can see the high winds already that we're going to be experiencing. Some of you guys experiencing up in Scotland. There are parts of England and Wales who are going to be experiencing it. Not so much rains and showers. It looks like getting away from Ireland. But if we move a bit more further on to the day, we can see that storm is still up there. You can see the high. You can see those high wind numbers there. That storm is still up there above north of Scotland there. So it doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon. It looks like it's calming down. It will calm down a bit later on. In terms of southern England, southern Wales, Midlands there, it's going to be fine. Parts of Northern Ireland is going to be experiencing it as well there from the looks of it. But if we move a little bit further overnight, yeah, those high winds and that is still there. It's still there, guys. Moving overnight into the next day, into early Wednesday morning again. It's still there. Those still high winds are still there, but temperatures are going to drop in Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Midlands there. We've got 8-9 degrees in some parts. Again, you can still see the high winds of 25. High winds there of 25. So please be careful. That storm is not going anywhere from Scotland anytime soon. It's only until maybe early Wednesday morning it starts to dissipate a little bit. Although the rain is clearing up for Wednesday morning. In the whole of the UK, temperatures are still going to be a little bit down, but they'll pick up a little bit quickly. They'll pick up again in the lunchtime tomorrow. 13, 12, 11, 10, and 9 degrees in parts there. Again, you can still see that storm is still kind of there. It's still not completely gone. And you can see again, there's still going to be those high winds up in the north of Scotland. So please be aware of that. Moving a bit further on in the day, temperatures staying roughly around about the same. Not too much of a change in pattern. Might be a little bit colder in some parts. There'll be bits of showers dropping into Scotland later on in the evening as well. But again, those high winds are still going to be there. The winds will have calmed down, as you can see. Most of the rest of the UK, most of the winds have calmed down. But still, up in Scotland, those high winds are going to be there for pretty much all of today and most of tomorrow. From the looks of it here, is it finally going to come down later on? Looks like it might calm down a bit later on from the looks of it there. Yeah, overnight on Thursday, you'll finally dissipate. So it looks like, yeah, Thursday overnight, temperatures are going to drop a little bit. Overnight on Thursday there, 8, 9, 7, 7, 8, 10 degrees is what they're looking at here. Another storm looks like it's going to be coming in from the ocean there. We can see coming at us. Going to hit our island here on Thursday morning here. Temperatures, again, not too bad in comparison to other days, but moving a bit further on into Thursday afternoon there. Yeah, that rain is hitting Ireland quite a fair bit. When is it hitting the rest of the UK there? Looks like it's going to hit Scotland, parts of Scotland later on in the evening. So probably not even going to feel it until overnight, perhaps. Yeah, so overnight Friday it's going to come in. Yeah, so most of that rain looks like that rain that's coming in looks like it's going to dissipate. There'll be a little bits of it left over from Friday morning again. But yeah, overnight on Thursday to Friday. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry. Yeah, you can see now Friday, guys, is completely calm. Get some odd showers here and there, but mainly looks like Friday's going to be a dry day from the looks of it. Looks like Friday's going to be mainly a dry day, is it? Yeah, maybe a few spots of shower, perhaps here and there, perhaps, maybe. But most of Friday is going to be a little bit chilly in parts, but overall it's going to be dry from the looks of it there. And then just a quick look into Saturday here. I did say the temperatures are going to be dropping this weekend coming up, and you can see there those temperatures are pretty low. They're going to come back up at all in the week. It looks like, yeah, some parts of the UK are going to come up. Belfast, Dublin 9, 11, Edinburgh 8, Manchester 9, Cardiff and London 11 again. And we got this another big, huge storm looks like coming up here, and you can see the winds are picking up again on Saturday night. Yeah, we need to be aware of that. Yeah, so over Saturday night into Sunday morning, this big storm is going to come in. So we got another storm going to be coming in over the weekend. So just be aware of that, guys. I'll remind you guys closer to the time. So yeah, we got another storm coming over the weekend after this one, guys. So let's have a start from the Telegraph there. Witchigoff, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Pouring rain here. It's gonna go wet today. Yep, I'm gonna be going out for a walk today after this live stream as well. Yeah, I need to. I'm actually gonna walk to the town centre instead of walking the forest. Actually, I might change my mind. I don't know. I'm undecided, but I want to get my steps in today. To be fair, and I want to get steps in today because after this week, the kids are all breaking up from school. So it's not like I'm gonna, and I don't like it when all the kids are around when I do my walk. It's not ideal for me personally. On that. Let's also a reminder, guys, do check out Witchigoff's YouTube channel and Witchigoff and Random Scottish History going to be joining us on Thursday, guys, for the last round table of 2025. Do join us for that. That'll be this Thursday at 8 o'clock. I'm really looking forward to it there as well. Got no mods to put the links in, which is kind of rare. It's rare that there's no mods in today. So hopefully everyone will be on their best behaviour. So this is the Tory graph here. Take a week off work if your distant cousin dies, says Labour. I don't think that's really. Is that? I don't think that's. I think people can afford to do that. I don't think people can afford to do that. So, channel migrants smuggling heroin for gangs. Teacher banned after telling Muslim child that Britain is a Christian country. I don't know how many times I need to tell people Britain, England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, they are not Christian countries. We are countries of multiculturalism, of different backgrounds, of different religions and ideologies, and we all live on this same island. This people need to get out of their thick heads. This stop using the term Christian, and also calling it a Christian country is an insult to other religions in the UK, and also they're misrepresenting Christianity as well. So yeah, just I hate people keep saying that. I really hate when people say that because it's just simply not true. Reform spreading sex toys lies about me, says Farage accuser. Okay. Amy Winehouse not interested. Trans women not a risk in changing rooms, says NHS tribunal judge. No, they're not. And anyone who thinks otherwise is a moron because they've been it's a moron. Honestly, women were not saying anything about this 10 years ago. Women were not saying anything about this 10 years ago. They're being manipulated into thinking that trans people are somehow evil or they're coming to get them when they're just doing their business just like any other person when they go to the bathroom. Honestly. It's just dumb. Trump's Ukraine peace deal on the brink of collapse. It's not going to work, Donny. You dumbass. We'll talk about that a bit more later. The secret video that could sink Pete Hegseth. Ooh, we'll have a look at that later. US considers IRA-style disarming plan for Hamas. Syrian president, we could be one of the leading countries in the world. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Sit down, okay? Just sit down. Sit down, Syria. Seriously. Graham, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. A bit drenched here. Yeah, it is a bit drenched. The rain is pouring down outside here as well. But I'm still going to be going for my walk later, nonetheless. Let's have a look at the Times. It's a bit more better, more feasible than the Tory graph there. Let's see what they're saying here in terms of politics. They still haven't updated these. Look, These are the same stories from Friday. This is how lazy they are on the Times website. These are all stories from last week. And it's Tuesday. They still haven't updated them. We're talking about more than 4 days. They can't update their page. Absolutely lazy, these lot. Ukraine prepares to present new peace plan for Trump after London talks. Starmer believes a deal to unlock £100 billion in Russian assets for Kiev is closed. That's an old one. Manifesto promise. Reform UK investigated by police. We talked about that yesterday. Let's go to the front of the Times. Let's see what the front page is actually saying here. Shameless. Hugh Edwards condemned over social media portrait. This post on his Facebook account has prompted speculation that the disgraced newsreader is planning a return to public life. Hugh, just stay away, okay? Like you just stay away. Just stay away, Hugh. Just stay away. Like, well, I'm worried this guy's going to do a bloody podcast, you know, just to try and keep himself meaningful. I hope not. I really hope not. 2 men charged with pepper spray after incident at Heathrow. Pioneering treatment offers lifeline to incurable blood cancer patients. All change, please. Great British Railway branding revealed. I'm going to touch on that in a bit later on because I actually do want to throw some crap on that. Storm Bram, or as we're calling it for this live stream, Storm Dolly, to batter Britain with months rain and 90-mile-an-hour winds. What else they go? I opened a 7 million restaurant in Battersea a year after leaving prison. Oh, good for you. Moved on with their life. That's very good to hear. NSS maternity unit fails despite staggering numbers of recommendations. That's not good. How private jet airfields risk becoming a backdoor into Britain. Is Starmer TikTok run by a child? It would make sense. Sorry, I got a bit of an itchy nose this morning. Don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's child running it, but it's pretty silly. Because it starts off with "Hello TikTok," and it's just like, "Oh, what are you doing?" It's like the clip is like. Let me put it this way, right? Keir Starmer saying the way he starts that TikTok clip is like saying, "Hello TikTok." It's like your mum or dad coming on your social media feeds, and she's saying hi, like, and it's a very awkward, cringy thing. That's literally what it is like having Keir Starmer on TikTok now. That's literally what it is. The Times Diary. Michael Gove's Christmas cards reveals Tory friendships come and go. I wonder how many of them are going to Labour and whatnot. Honestly, I don't give a crap. Scam losses on the rise on the watch in the UK's first fraud minister. Not only that, a lot of scammers are now using artificial intelligence to trick people as well. Like, you really got to be careful where you get your Christmas items from online. Like I understand people not using some of the mainstream ones. But please, please, please take caution about about where you get items from. And the most important thing is obviously check the reviews. We have a moderator just in case now. Viper Scott, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Listing farm start, no worries. I'm glad there's a moderator just in case. There. And Avery Lamb, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well there as well. Good to see you there. Nice to see some familiar faces, as always. Right, let's have a look at what the Financial Times are saying here. Very neutral paper, really, to be fair to them. So let's see what they got under UK here. The City of London explores outside investment for housing projects. A move by Square Mile's governing body comes as it seeks to tackle funding shortfall there. So just so you know, guys, I always look at the pieces on the left, not the pieces on the right, because they're just opinions and analysis from people, okay? So here on the left, UK employers are less likely to disclose salaries or to offer perks amid the hiring slump. Excuse me. A share of job posting that included information on pay fell to 55% in October, down 10% on a year earlier. That's not good. UK consumer card spending fell by most since 2021, says Barclays. Spending in November was hit by budget uncertainty. We kind of touched on that a little bit. I think we touched on that last week, to be fair. That there was some people put off as well. There was that Like the Black Friday wasn't that really appealing to some people. Hospitals in England see more patients, but waiting lists scarcely fall. That's on NHS England. NHS data shows productivity growth in hospitals is rising more quickly than the government's 2% target. UK should push tourism in offshore tax havens, says government advisor. Margaret Holt urges Britons to help its overseas territories in return to helping them implementing financial transparency rules. British cycling seeks private capital to writing more cash from races. Sports governing bodies searching for back of newly separate events business there as well. Let's have a look and see what the front of the FT is saying today. Inside Paramount's $108 billion hostile bid for Warner Brothers. I want to talk about this actually because I don't know if I'll talk about this later or not, but what I will say is that this is very bad for the entertainment industry, that you have Netflix and Warner Brothers agreeing the deal, or you have Paramount taking over all of Warner Brothers. This is very bad for the markets, that having all these global powerhouses, perhaps potentially two big ones merging into one, it's not good. It's not good for competition. It's just not good for competition. You know, you want to talk about bad marketing. This is bad marketing here. And it looks like Donald Trump, all he's interested in is having some kind of fixated control over, some kind of control sway over it, which I don't like it as well. And parts of Warner Brother, the reason why I'm very keen to keep an eye on all this as well is because AEW has All Elite Wrestling has they have shows on TBS and TNT in America, as well as they stream on HBO Max, which is obviously Warner Brothers. So it'd be interesting to see how it impacts them as well. At the moment, the company's doing fine. But obviously, as a big AEW fan, I'm very interested to see what happens with it all. There's still so much up in the air right now with it. I may touch a bit more on it later. They've got a couple of exclusives here for their top stories. Rovon offers former staff a chance to cash out a 30% discount. China set to limit access to NVIDIA's H200 chip despite Trump export approval. NVIDIA can sell H200 AI chips to China, Trump says. Boy Weinstein's $2 billion flagship hedge fund sinks amid boycott markets there. There's a couple of exclusives from them there. What would an Angela Rayner government look like? I think it would be a lot more left-leaning, believe it or not, if we had Angela Rayner as Prime Minister. It would be a lot more left-leaning, I think. The countdown to the world's first social media ban for children. Yeah, let's go. That's on the right. I know you can't see it from where you guys are, but on the right there, the story of the social media ban is going in place for kids in Australia under 16s. Very curious to see how that's going to go. I might even touch on it later on, maybe. It might be a story I might touch on in a little bit. UK should boost tourism in offshore tax havens, says government advisor. Boost tourism in offshore tax havens. Why would you? I'm a bit complex. Why would you say that? BOJ governor says economy has weathered Trump's tariffs. We touched on that story already. Lithuania declares state of emergency over smuggler balloons from Belarus. Explored outside projects. Abu Dhabi in deal with talks over oil refinery at the center of US sanctions. This is not good. Middle East, Abu Dhabi gets sinking their teeth into more American companies there. That's not good there. EU waters down sustainability laws opposed by the US. Yep. The US don't like it, too bad. EU should just keep doing what it's doing and not worry about them. Right, let's go back to UK news, guys. Let's see what the iPaper is saying for us here. Great British Railway. How would it affect Scotland already? Deprivatised, publicly owned railway, ScotRail. There was something in it that they're not technically owned. That there's fully owned by the government. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was something. I can't remember the tweet, but there was some. There was a quite. It was saying that technically, it's owned by the company, but technically there's part privatization, part private in both ScotRail and British Rail, believe it or not, on it there. I can't remember what the term was. I read up as well. I know how you feel. I suffer from a lack of sleep. Go to bed at 3 a.m. Wake up at 6:30 a.m. 7 a.m. is a long 7 a.m. is a long line for me. I'm sorry you go through that, Linda. I woke up really bad this morning, actually, believe it or not. What I tend to do is like at about 10:30, 11 o'clock is when I go to bed, normally get into bed. And I normally play a video in the background. It just knocks me out. It knocks me out every time I put on a video on my phone. And then my partner, actually, she notices when I'm out. And she'll take the headphones out of my ears and move the phone to the side. And then I wake up and it's like, huh? And she's like, you fell asleep again, honey. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry that people have to, if they really struggle to sleep. It's not nice. It's a company, but companies is it's a company, but company is owned by Scottish government. It is to hold arm's length Reganelite. Yeah, I need to look up into it more because, like, I'm hearing that while it is nationalised, that and what's happening with England, there's parts of it that are privatised. Parts of it, of my understanding. So again, I need to read up on it more. So I'm just speculating on what I've read on what people have said online. So I want us to stress that right now. Tories believe in dignity in works this Reganelite. She unveils welfare plan. She says the Conservatives will double the number of apprenticeships and back businesses that support the health of their employees. Look, the Conservatives talked and shouted a lot during their 14 years about apprenticeships and whatnot. I would say that might have been it may have been a positive for them, but the negatives of what they did in the 14 years kind of outweigh any kind of positive things that they did. Really, really did. Pension crisis is coming, and experts fear Reeves' tax rate will make it worse. Cutting benefits from migrant children risks plunging them into deep poverty. We're not going to cut benefits from children, are we, really? Are we really going to do that? Oh, God. We're not really going to do that, are we? Are we really that cold? Oh, well, I know Nigel Farage is, but is Labour that cold? Probably. Probably is, actually, guys. Analysis piece of why young voters are leaving Labour for the Greens. Why Farage has been reported to electoral fraud and what will happen next. Yeah, we'll wait and see more on that. We touched on it yesterday anyway on the Good Morning Show. The UK's migration problem is nothing to do with being too generous. Here's why. The areas worst hit by the mutant flu strain sweeping the UK and why. Yeah, if you are a certain age, do get the flu jab, guys and girls. Please do. I don't need it because I'm quite. Well, I don't. I think for my age, I'm all right with it. But maybe if you're a bit older, might be worth looking into getting the flu jab, guys, because there is a new strain out there, and obviously, I don't want to see you catching it if it can be helped, guys. That the ones heading to England are still privately owned. It's a service in Scotland, only that it's nationalised. Yeah, thanks for that, Viper Scott. Yeah, like I said, I still need to look into it because I'm hearing conflicting information. Danger to life warnings issued as Storm Bram brings strong winds and rain. Storm Dolly, we're calling it today. That's all I can do now. The charity fundraiser who lost her son, 23, to cancer. That's absolutely horrible to lose. Benefit claimants with new anxiety faces cuts with welfare reforms loom. Think you're being healthy by cutting sugar. What sweetens your body? I don't think you can't. You do need some. I do. Maybe it's me, but you do need some sugar. I don't think you should completely go off sugar. I just think you need to just mitigate it. I think that's the best way to describe it. Pupils and teachers with flu symptoms told to stay at home from school. I hate saying this, but I can understand why they're saying this. Because you obviously don't want it spreading. Wear a face mask if you feel ill. Public told as hospital face record flu surges. Exclusive new hope for chronic UTI sufferers are still waiting for medical definition there. Anything in business. Threatening behaviour of WER blightly found or forces charity to boost security. The controversial group, whose directors have been convicted of illegal fundraising, faces more criticism in the run-up to Remembrance Day. So, it's a scam. One second, let me see if we can have a look at this. Ah, screw you. Alright, I'm bypassing this. I want to look at this. Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to bypass the paywall. Sugar is the enemy. It's highly addictive. It's the biggest weight gain caused by sugar. I have already eaten a lot of sugar. Says Witchy Goth. I don't think there's wrong with having sugar, but there's a too much sugar, isn't it? There's the thing of don't have too much sugar. I think it's the right thing to say there, isn't it? I think that's the right way to put it. Where is it? There we go. Give me that link. There we go. Let's have a look at this, guys. This story is apparently 4 weeks old. The controversial group, whose director has been convicted of illegal fundraising, faces more criticism around Remembrance Day. A charity strengthens security at its headquarters to protect employees following alleged threatening behaviour by the founder of a company that raises money for homeless military veterans. The Charity Aid Foundation, which helps businesses collect funds for good causes, has delayed transferring donations to We Are Blightly after concerns about the organisation arose during a vetting process. During a phone call about the dispute, the firm's director, Ben Mills, responded in such an aggressive way that CAF management worried that he might try to enter the building to confront staff, according to an internal mail. This is apparently him. We Are Brightly, which is a community interest company, CIC, is not a registered charity. Claims that CAF's accounts is inaccurate, saying it was entitled to the money, and Mills attempted to engage constructively. Separately, police forces and local council have been raising concerns about the conduct that We Are Brightly for over a year, and charity leaders share concerns about such groups piggybacking on the Poppy appeal in the run-up to Remembrance Day. Mills and his partner, a fellow director, were fined in June after pleading guilty to collecting cash in public places without licenses on multiple occasions. This week, a long-running investigation by the fundraising regulator concluded that We Are Brightly fundraisers acted in an aggressive and unprofessional way towards both potential donors and public officials. Why? Wow. It also found that CIC falsely suggested it was linked to a well-known national veterans charity, which risks misleading the public. In all, the watchdog identified 9 breaches of its code in practice by the group. We Are Brightly said its leaders acknowledged on the regulator's findings, which relates to historical activity between October 2023 and June 2024. It complained that the fundraising regulator had not presented it with a verifiable evidence of aggressive behaviour by our representatives. But the company had nevertheless implemented enhanced training and supervision in line with the watchdog recommendations. It also introduced a complaints process. This sounds dodgy as hell. Yeah, it sounds dodgy as hell. We Are Brightly fundraisers collecting cash on the high street to help buy boats for use as accommodation for homeless military veterans. They buy boats for homeless veterans. That doesn't sound a bit right. We've been seen raising on payments outside Wimbledon while tennis fans headed to tourism. So they did that during Wimbledon as well, apparently. That's very sneaky. It's very, very sneaky. Very, very sneaky, isn't it? I don't like it at all, guys. Don't like it at all. Let's come back to this. Vibe Scott, Alison Keir, thank you so much for the £2 super chat to get started for Ollie. Thank you so much. And another one there for the DPR. Thank you for the DPR as well. Yep, let me just... Ollie says, thank you so much, Vibe Scott, Alison Keir, for that. Greatly appreciated, my friend. And where is Pingu? What's Pingu doing on the floor there? And Pingu there, our friend as well. Greatly appreciate. He fell over apparently. Thank you so much for those super chats. It's very kind of you there. And yeah, provide a link to Witchy Goth's YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed. Do consider subscribing as well. Just see what you guys are saying. Are you guys still talking about sleep? Yeah. I deliberately keep myself busy all day and I hope I can get better sleep. Never works. Never works, though, says Linda. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, always try to keep yourself busy. Yeah, it's one of the best things. Right. Great British Railway unveils the new striking branding. So what do I think of the branding? Okay, look. First of all, they haven't actually changed the font. The fonts are the same as what they were before. But the colours is just... This screams to me to the right wing. We're appealing to you. We're British. We're British. We're British. It's just an appeal to the right. You know, it's to try and just dive into that whole British patriotism bollocks. That's what it is. That's generally what this is. I don't like it. I don't like the over-the-top Britishness sort of thing. I really think it's completely unnecessary. I kind of wish they just went with with simple colours and not tried to be so patriotic. That's literally what this is. That's literally what this is, and I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. It's not because it's not about patriotism. It's not about Britishness. It's trying to appeal to the right. That's literally what this is. This is about appealing to people on the far right who claim that our country's being taken away and we're not British enough or we're not patriotic enough. That crap nonsense. The minority, right? The minority in society. That's what this is about. That's what this painting is about. It really is. I just think it's silly and unnecessary. But unfortunately, people are going to buy into it. And some people don't give a monkeys either, to be fair. It's a slap to slap a Union flag on it. Yeah, that's literally what they've done. You can tell that's what they've done. Deal to release £100 billion of Russian assets for Ukraine expected soon. Britain under attack from Putin's cyber army, warns Cooper. House of Lords peers suspended after breaking lobbying rules. What a surprise there. MP praises Trump's immigration crackdown, says it'll work in the UK. No, it will not. No, it will not. By the way, for those who don't know, for those who don't know the numbers, right? Up to 75,000 Americans, people, or I shouldn't say Americans, up to 75,000 people, since Trump got into president, have been arrested wrongly, either because they are American citizens or that, or they've not been convicted of any crimes at all. Have been caught up by ICE, and some of them have been held for months before they've actually been released as well. So yeah, I don't want innocent people being arrested, especially British citizens or celebrities for that matter. I do not want an ICE style immigration here in the UK. So I'm assuming the MP here is not Labour, but I wouldn't be surprised at the same time. Labour would ask members who would they back in the leadership campaign. Kind of saw that already there. Australian Prime Minister tells teens to read a book. I don't... Yeah. Some kids are going to go find their ways around it. Afghans live in fear of ICE in the wake of the Guardian's national attack. Yeah, we're going to touch more on world news later on here, to be fair. Those are some of the stories there from the iPaper. By the way, what happened with the two Davies? They're still here. They're still here. Dave McGuinness is still running the show. David is still running the show. I don't know if or when David Mulligan is going to return. But the show is still happening every Monday to Friday at 10:30, and they do their show still on Monday and Thursday at 4 o'clock. Something changes, obviously. Dave McGuinness will say on that. As for the case, I can't. Obviously, there's not really more to add. It's going to take some time before. It's going to take some time. Obviously, we can't comment on it. The Independent here, the Great British Railway, and a new striking branding. Yeah. Two House of Lords peers suspended. So what have they got here? This is from the Independent. Lord Dannatt will be barred from the Lords for 4 months, while Lord Evans of Watford will be suspended for 5 months. Yes, I think we looked at this a while ago. 2 members of the House of Lords been suspended from the upper chamber, found to have been exploiting their positions for financial gains. Yeah, this is kind of what we were waiting for. Yeah, triggered by a newspaper sting operation. Yeah, we saw the video a while ago. I don't think it was the Guardian. I think it was someone else. Who was the one? Who provided the sting operation? Yeah, Guardian journalists. Lord Dennett was judged by the Commission to express a clear willingness to provide paid parliamentary service to reporters in the breach of the rules that would have acted in a personal honour. As a subsequently emerged 3 further cases in which Lord Dennett had provided parliamentary service in return for payment by contacting ministers and officials on behalf of 3 separate companies in which they had financial interest. Chairman of the Conduct Committee, Lord Callier, told Parliament Lord Dennett argued he was acting in the national interest, but even if that was so, it provided no defence. Code is clear that accepting payment in return for offering parliamentary advice or service, which includes setting up meetings or introductions or writing to ministers or officials, is prohibited. So this is whatever motivates the members. We need to do more about tackling this. This is just, I think, they're just greedy people. They make enough money as it is. Why do they need to do this? Honestly, it makes me sick to my stomach. So who's actually saying this? Chris Twat. Oh, of course it would be Chris. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Twat said the British public expect immigration laws to be properly enforced. What were you doing on your part when your party was in control for 14 years? Party's immigration plan introduced a ban on asylum claims for new illegal immigrants. There's no such thing as illegals. That's not how it works. Under the border plans, the Tories also bring in removal force. The party said modelling on ICE, which has been criticised for heavy-handed tactics. That's outrageous. Look, they are trying to reform again. This is what they're trying to do. They've got no idea, so let's copy the Republican Party. What could possibly go wrong? We would come out with the ECHR. We would enable us to deport all illegal immigrants within a week. No, you would not, because you need to have approval from nations to do that. Of arrivals and remove 150,000 people a year with no right to be here. We would double the budget to remove people in this country illegally up to 1.6 billion. Yep, so instead of dealing with the cost of living crisis, they spend more money on immigration, guys. We think this is what the public expect. They expect our immigration laws to be properly enforced. This will not fix the issues. In August, Ms. Phillips, Robert Jemerick, J.D. Vance, Phelps said the Trump administration policy of immediately removing people who had entered the country illegally by not offering asylum claims was also part of the Tories' plan for government, but would not compare removal force. This is literally a breach of people's human rights right here. This is literally a breach of people's human rights here, what you want to do. This is literally a breach of their human rights. Like, you're literally not giving them any rights whatsoever here. By taking out the ECHR as well. Just read Scott Rail will not join GB Rail because the Scottish government already nationalised years back in transport and reserve matter. Yes, I wasn't expecting Scott Rail to join GB Rail in any way, shape, or form. No, there was no. I've not heard any conversation about that at all. But again, I need to look up about there have been people claiming that there is some kind of part privatisations of British Rail and Scots Rail, but I don't know what it is. Again, I need to look up it on my own before I can find it. I think it wasn't so much the company, but it's like the commission or something. I can't remember what it was. I need to look it up again. There. But thank you, Graham, for the £5 super chat. But yes, that Scots Rail and GB Rail are not going to be merging. No, that's definitely not happening. By removing people with no right to be in the United States, the US administration has reduced illegal entry across the Mexican border by 8 to 9% within just a few months. This shows these policies do work. Want to remove people arriving within a week. They want to support anyone who is here in the country illegally already, and all foreign criminals. But I do know we need to leave the ECHR, and the Conservatives only a part of a credible, detailed plan to do that. What you're doing is very vile. It's vile and evil. God, we're going to be really nasty, aren't we? I can just see it now, like either a Conservative reform government implementing such nasty policies on people and literally just going house by house after people. It's just going to be so disgusting. It's going to be really, really disgusting. It's just going to make me feel sick. Name that a steak knife IRA spy government told after a new damning report. I kind of looked on this a little bit when I was having breakfast this morning on the BBC. Hopes British grandfather jailed by Dubai could be freed by Christmas. UN issues warning to Britons and Majoris over Chagos Island deal. What are they saying? concerns that the agreement prevents the returns of Jagonoskian people. Does it? United Nations Committee has urged Britain and Majoris not to ratify the proposed agreement on the future of Chagos Islands, warning it risks perpetrating a long-standing violation of the Chagosians people's rights. On Monday, the committee stated that the deal, finalised in May after years of negotiation, would see the sovereignty of the archipelago transferred to Majoris. However, it also stipulates that Britain would retain control of strategically important US-UK airbase on San Diego, the largest island, through a long-term lease. After 200,000 Chagos were forcibly removed from their homes in the 1960s and 70s, many subsequently settling in Britain and some continuing to seek the rights to return. The UN's Committee of the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, which met in Geneva this month, expressed concerns that the agreement expressly prevents the return of the Chagosian people to their ancestral lands in Diego Garcia Island. Also voices concerns that the deal did not formally acknowledge past injustices, provided full reparations for harms, allowing for the islands to preserve their district cultural heritage. Basically, what the UN is basically saying is that you need to give up the Diego Garcia Island. Well, the problem is that neither the UK or the US are going to accept that. That's what they're saying. And they're saying it's not right that they should have to wait 100 years before they get their lands back, is what the UN are saying. Which I think is a fair point there. Thank you, Viper Scott, for the £2 super chat. Confetti time! Yep, sorry, I don't have a fancy graphic like Graham Hughes has on his channel, but yes, confetti. Thank you so much, guys, for helping me to reach today's super chat goal. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Off to the vets with Fawn for blood on his diabetics. Hopefully, we'll see you all later. No worries, Richie Goff. Thank you so much for popping in. Much appreciated. Hope it all goes well at the vets. Generally do. Brexit deals making the UK. See that side comment from Starmer. Brexit deals making UK broke up to 2023. They paid 23.8 billion, then 2.4 billion in May 2024. Still to pay 4 billion before 2020. Still 4 billion to pay before 2065. Yeah, the Brexit exit bill. So how do I generally feel about this? Like originally, my position was like this was a good deal. They should take this. But the fact that they're not even taking the Chagosians on Diego Garcia, that they have no say whatsoever on the island, that's something that needs to be looked at here. Like, the thing is, what can you do here in this situation? Because they're just not going to. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but the UK and the US are not giving up this airbase. You're not gonna. They're not. If you tell them they got to give up the airbase, they're just gonna tell the UN to go f themselves. Honestly, like, I'm not saying it's right that they still have that airbase there. Like, I'm not saying it should be there. Like, it should go back to its people, rightfully so. But like, I don't see a situation where. Like, if they don't agree this deal, which again, like, I can understand why they would turn it down, but this is just going to drag on and on. This is going to drag. I'm not sure what the solution is, guys, because you can't. There's no way the US and the UK, like, even if it wasn't Trump, even if it was a Democratic administration, they would not agree to give up the base either way. They wouldn't. So I'm not sure what the solution is there. What we got? Warnings issued over Christmas lights amid fire safety fears. Yeah, there's probably a couple of bad ones out there. 1 in 4 teens turn into AI chatbots for mental health support. No. That's not good. That's not good. That's only going to make them worse. That is only going to make them worse. Children affected by serious violence are even more likely to seek help online. Quarter of teenagers in the UK have turned to AI chatbots for mental health support in the last year. New research reveals a study of 11,000 children aged 16 to 13 from England and Wales have found more than half of teenagers who use some form of online mental health support in the last 25 years, with 25% having used AI chatbots. Yeah, it's probably because it's free. The research carried out by the charity Youth also found that young people affected by serious violence were even more likely to seek help online. Yeah, because they don't want to confront their parents about it. Some 38% of children who were victims of serious violence said that they turned to AI chatbots for support, while 44% of children who had been perpetrators of serious violence said they had done the same. The YEF said AI chatbots could appeal to struggling young people who feel it's safe and easy to speak to an AI chatbot anonymously at any time rather than speaking to a professional. Really scares me. If you're really struggling and you're thinking about doing something harmful to yourself, you can ask AI for support. We'll give you information, but what you do with it is up to you. This is really concerning. Charity leaders all want could be happening due to a lack of support available for teenagers' mental health stressing. They need a human, not a bot. Too many young people are struggling with their mental health and can't get the support they need. It's no surprise that they are turning to technology to help. Yeah, this is it. And that AI is free for them to talk to. That's free. Whereas if you if you can't get it from the NHS, right, you have to pay for mental health support online. You have to pay for that, and people aren't going to pay for it, especially youngsters. That's really scary. I'm really concerned about the mental health issue because that could have such a damning effect on them as well. Nationwide issues payment warnings to millions. Christmas shoppers. What's this about? Nationwide issue a warning to its members urging them to remain vigilant in the run-up Christmas. Meanwhile, the actual 28 days. I was just telling people just to be careful. Is that all they're saying? Platforms like yeah, just be careful. Basically, just be careful where you're purchasing things. Basically, is what they're saying. I'm pretty sure. Teacher banned from telling people I have an iPad. I have an iPad for internet porn. Why would you tell a pupil that? That's just stupid. What is this? Andrew Belligan has also sent the pupil a winking emoji and invited them to... Teacher's been banned from the profession after sending sexual messages to a pupil to the point where they had felt too uncomfortable to attend school. Oh my God. What's wrong with these teachers? So I'll pull people not to... It's just a few feet away from people A, sending them enough messages on the same site, subsequently blocked him on the app. Oh my God. Okay, I've read enough of this. Like, makes me sick to my stomach. I can't believe a teacher. This crackdown on ghost number plates urged over national security threat there as well. God damn it. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate that so much when teachers do that kind of shit. I hate it. I really, really hate it. Makes me sick to my stomach because when you hear those stories, right, this is the thing that really angers me, right? When you hear stories like that, okay, it makes people feel, rightfully, like parents, as a parent, when you read that story, it makes you feel uncomfortable about sending your child to school. It really does. They're doing this behind backs and whatnot. And I understand how it makes me understand why parents are so clingy to their children and so concerned about sending their children to state schools. When you got teachers like that, it is not the first time we've heard situations like this as well. That's the thing that angers me just as much. It's not the first time. Teachers need to have their social media's background checks. They need to have their backgrounds checked, thoroughly. Their social medias need to be completely transparent. Teachers now must have their social medias transparent with their. They need to be completely open and transparent with the kind of social media they do. Teachers going forward, it needs to be more open. We need to know exactly what teachers are looking at when they're on their off time now, because they are supposed to be teaching children. And clearly there are some who are in this profession who are thinking about other shit that they should not be thinking about. I'm sorry, we need to disclose their social medias. I generally think we need to push that. I'm sorry, you need to be an open case book as a teacher so that people know you're generally a good person and that you can trust them with your child. Because stories like that just make you puts you off sending your child to school. It really, really does. And I feel so sorry for the parents And also for the classmate, for the parents as well, who have other classmates in that classroom who find out about this. Like, that's so disheartening. I can't imagine what they must be feeling about that. It's just so heartbreaking. Anything new in these stories? No. Branding logo, Rayner urges MPs not to blink or buckle on the employment rights. Yes, keep pushing that, Rayner. Just keep pushing that. Tories plan. Reform Russia on the election pledges. We talked about that yesterday. Let's check the front of UK here. Storm Bram or Storm Dolly. Hungry mothers and dirty wards. Maternity care much worse than anticipated. Review chief says that's not good. 2 people in charge over Heathrow pepper spray. Gram punched by pregnant attacker at funeral discussed at a sentence. What? What on earth was that about? Jesus. Man 28 charged with raping 2 teenage girls. Moment stolen puppy are reunited with their mum. Oh, okay. This is yep. We're watching this. I'm sorry. We got to watch this. This is very important news, guys. Sorry. Yep.
They're your babies. They're your babies.
Ah, that was lovely. Okay, we needed that. We needed that. That was lovely. That was lovely. That was lovely. We needed that. We needed that. That was lovely. A dream that became real, says world record holder, age 11. Wow. Don't know what it is, but you know, congratulations to the young man. Oh, very, very happy for him. Other stories they got here. Why Scotland's Instagram highway needs a reboot. Does it need a reboot, Scotland? Ferries cancelled and trains off earlier. Storm Brown hit Scotland. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be, those winds are going to be there all day there. There. Needed that. Nice story, guys. We've got a couple minutes left. Just a quick reminder that I will be going live at 6 o'clock today for Global News. There will not be a Global News live stream next week, just for reference, guys. Let's have a look at Sky News here. Kemi bad woman delivering her welfare speech. Iconic symbol union flag design for nationalised trains. Yep. Trans judgment pile pressures on government to issue long delayed gender guidance. Yeah, they need to address this. Technology isn't always the best when you hear stories like that. Yeah. Maternity review story. COVID scheme fraud and error costs taxpayers £11 billion. This just come out. COVID-19 fraud and error costs the taxpayers nearly £11 billion. The government watchdog has found pandemic support programs such as furlough, bounce back loans, support grants and to help out led to £10.9 billion in fraud and error. The COVID counter fraud commissioner Tom Hayhoe, the final reports concluded lack of government data to target economy support made it easy for fraudsters to claim under more than one scheme and secure dual funding. Report says. Yeah, so and that's not the that's on top of the, is that on top? I'm assuming that's on top of the 37 billion that's still been that from Dido Harding as well. We are holding on, but not by much. Navy chief warns of Russian threat. And young couple died in a fatal crash, had a rare once in a lifetime devotion to each other. Absolutely terrible. Afghan national charged with raping two 14-year-old girls. Those are some of the stories there from Sky News. Right, let's have a look at The Guardian before we see ourselves out, because we literally got a minute left. Reform campaigns for Clacton's seat was a juggernaut. Says candidates. foreign states use AI videos to undermine support for Ukraine, says Yvette Cooper. Yep, that doesn't surprise me at all. Rename home to school transport to tackle spiraling costs, MPs told. Tony Blair's been reportedly dropped from Trump's Gaza border peace shortlist, apparently. I have heard that story, which I'm very happy about. I don't want Tony Blair taking part in the any kind of peace arrangement for Gaza. Apparently, the story is that Arab nations pressured Trump into basically dropping Tony Blair, and rightfully so. So that's what I've heard. I heard the Arab nations basically said to Trump, keep Tony Blair out of it because of basically what he did, with what happened with, with Afghanistan, the Iraq War, of course. Sorry. Do a better job than Keir Starmer. UK will step up abuse. Yep, we touched on that story yesterday. And let's have a quick look here. A smiling Kemi Baganot. Storm Dolly, I'm calling it today. 2 charged over pepper spray. Former Estain boss begin case against Gambling Commission over 888 bid. UK households bins 168 metre Christmas lights and fast tech items a year. Undercover police officer who deceived women shows sadistic tendencies. Spy cops inquiry has been told. Look at this advertisement. Look at this bloody advertisement here on The Guardian. Why have they got this on here? This is not helping the NHS. This kind of shit here, like The Guardian, is not helping our cause here. When they post advertisements like that, it's disgraceful. Any other stories there? See, that ad's fine because it's just a shoe ad. But keep health insurance off our bloody advertisements. What is the UK's child poverty strategy? And is there any other stories there? There's a couple of random stories there. Just a bit peed off about seeing that bloody story, guys. Okay, guys, we've hit 12 o'clock here, so I'm going to have to wrap it up here. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came along, guys. Thank you, guys, for all your comments. Thank you for those who gave super chats today for today's live stream. I really appreciate it. Tonight will be the last... I don't know if I'll be doing the global news again before the end of the year, but I won't be doing one. Definitely won't be doing one next week, guys. Next week I've got some big plans, and I'll let you guys know on Friday what's happening next week. On Friday or Thursday, close to the time. But yeah, do join me for global news next week. There won't be one next week, so if you guys want to check out news from outside the UK, join me for tonight's show. I'm undecided whether or not I'm going to cover Prime Minister's questions tomorrow or not as well. That's kind of up in the air. It depends what I've got to get done here. Just before I go as well, I just wanted to let people know. So while this week is the last week I do free content for Rumble and Patreon for the rest of the year, paid content for Patreon will be continuing all the way. It's going to continue. I've basically scheduled all the way up till literally the 8th of January paid content for Patreon. So if you guys want to check out that, you can do there. Obviously, I've posted some times on some of my holidays. You can check out on there behind a paywall if you guys want to check that out. But after Friday, there'll be no more free content on Rumble or Patreon until the new year. So I'm just cutting down a little bit after this week because I've got a lot going on, understandably so. And I do want to I still want to be able to provide content here and on my wrestling page because obviously I want to make sure I am still prioritizing these when I can, of course, guys. So thank you guys again. And before you guys head out, if you can, please hit that like button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Share this across social media. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get to that 2,500 subscriber count, guys. If you know anybody who hasn't subscribed, please consider helping them. Please consider subscribing. Help spread the word, guys. Let's get to that subscriber count number. Do check out my video that came out this morning as well, and let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments for that video as well. And of course, you can check out Rumble and video links, Rumble and Patreon links for them are down below. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.